Hey, everybody, welcome back to Competitive Solutions TV. I'm Brandon Lee, and I get the fortunate job of being the host. And today I am going to have a conversation with someone who I've gotten to know over a couple of weeks. We go way back, Carla Odneal, and she's a corporate human resources manager at Brazeway. Hey, Carla, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, and hey, we're going to talk today because you recently went to the Visuant's users group, a couple of day event, met with other users, learned about some new features, had a great time in hot Atlanta. We're going to chat a little bit about that. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, what I'd love to ask first is overall, how has Visuant helped your organization streamline the use of data?
Well, and not just Visuant, but the process-based leadership is what we run our business on. Every employee, every week, every team, every shift, every location is in a meeting that is similarly structured. It's run in the Visuant software, similar agenda items, so that we're being consistent in what we're talking about. It's transparent to everyone else in the organization. So I can look at one of our Mexico third shift teams and see what their meeting notes will look like. I can look at their metrics. We keep accountability through the action registers. So again, I can look across the organization and see who's got what actions outstanding. It also makes me want to make sure that I don't have any outstanding that somebody else could see. So it's really allowed, again, it's the process of the leadership that the scorecarding software is just allowing us to administer that process. So we've really enjoyed it. We've used it, I think, 29 years now. So since 1995, even before they had the software, we partnered with CSI and just continue to. It's helped us run and grow our business.
So it's a combination for you of the PBL, the process-based leadership, and then the Visuant software that really helps facilitate that for all your meetings and all your data conversations.
Absolutely. We train new hires when they come on board. So we do bring someone from CSI in-house, and they train users once a year on new hires, but we do have an onboarding process. We introduce not just the software, but the philosophy. We go through, we train people, and actually when there might have a manager that's got a little bit of downtime for a new employee, maybe they're in meetings, they can't attend to them, I train them on using the software and tell them, look throughout all of these scorecards, all of these meeting notes, and learn a little bit about the business. We keep some historical data so you can look back a few years. If they get assigned a new project, they can see maybe what the counterpart was to that, or the predecessor, what the work they might have done. So that's been really helpful in a lot of ways beyond just running our business and seeing something that we need to react upon. We use it for training purposes as well. In fact, we often have employees who have left Brazeway because they thought maybe it was greener. The grass is greener on the other side, looking for different opportunities, that have come back to Brazeway because we have such a structured process, and it's not strict, but there is a process and it has expectations, and people know what those are. And again, when you're transparent across the business, and so we get some feedback when people want to return to Brazeway that they really enjoyed that culture, that everybody is participative in making those business decisions and having the impact that they can see through those metrics.
Wow. I mean, I think that says a lot about Brazeway. It says a lot about your culture, and it says a lot about the PBL, the DSI, and the Visuant software, that it's cohesive. And I think there's a lot of employees that they just like having clarity on what's going on. And when you have that, it really changes the work environment.
Yeah, I agree completely. We have to be clear on both sides of what those expectations are. I forget what Shane says, but something about problems start from unclear expectations. That's
Yeah.
part of the philosophy.
Yeah, yeah. There's a famous like saying about that I like is that anger is the difference between what you expected and what really happened, and
Right,
that's
right.
where anger causes. Yeah, that's good. But I really appreciate all that background. So I want to move us forward a little bit. You were there at the unveiling of Visuant 5.0. What were some of your first impressions about it?
Well, the look itself has looked more modern, and the functionality seemed much more user-friendly to our end users, as well as some additional administrative tools that I would use that will make it much more efficient to function. It's still very familiar looking. The scorecards are still there. The
Mhm.
action register is still there. And it's my understanding, I'm not a technical person, but it's got some additional securities built in,
That's
cybersecurity.
always good.
Yeah, so I think it's great. We want it now and not want to wait, but our business isn't quite ready for it with some other projects. So we gotta wait till we have the resources ready.
Sounds good. Now, is there any one particular functionality in 5.0 that you're most excited about?
Well, there's two that I was looking at. The one is the manager insights. I believe they're pre-created dashboards that will allow the management to just take a quick snapshot look, even more so than looking throughout the cards. So I think they can make some quick decisions or at least know where they need to focus. And then, of course, being from HR, we are all about recognition and employee engagement. So there is a new recognition tool that we're looking forward to learning more about and implementing.
That's great. That's great. Well, I know that Brazeway has used the process. They've used PBL and DSI and Visuant for quite a while. So I normally like to ask people like, well, what were your meetings like before you started using Visuant? But that doesn't really work. What would you say for somebody who is looking at Visuant, looking at the process flow, but they're still a little bit uncertain? What would you say to somebody who is considering using it?
Well, I mean, I would be happy to do testimonial, with that person and walk them through how we use it. But it is a commitment, to have every team be in a meeting every week. But if that's what your business is going to be committed, if you're looking for, like you said, we've been doing it for so long, we don't know what it was like before. So imagine a company coming in having no process or maybe a process that's not quite functioning correctly. It's certainly worth the investment and the time.
Mhm.
And we actually use it for all kinds of board reports and things like that to our sister companies, and other companies have said, wow, how did you guys get that chart, or how did you get that scorecard, and the coloring is great. And so we've actually made some recommendations. I think some of our sister companies are looking at the process. So I think if you asked various people throughout the business, even though we do have a pretty consistent use and we do have some non-negotiable items when running the software, I think they all have a little bit different spin on how it works for their teams. So someone in a plant, we've got 3 or 4 shifts in the middle of the night, and how they work those meetings and might be different than me in HR, who Monday mornings, this has got to be done and this is what we do. But we found that it can work for any team.
Yeah, that's good. Well, Carla, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend with us on Competitive Solutions TV. I really appreciate you taking the time.
And thanks for the opportunity. Have a good day.
No, thank you so much. And everybody, thank you for joining us for another episode. We hope to see you next time on another episode of Competitive Solutions TV. Take care, everybody.